Everybody can go. Everybody can go. Everybody can go.
Everybody, welcome to the show. I am Whiskey, and this is season 2, episode 1 of the Everybody Can't Go podcast. So excited to be back with a brand new episode and a brand new co host. Luro is looking a little bit different because that is not Luro. We're gonna bring TK onto the screen. I think you blanked out. Make sure your camera is on. We're gonna bring you up and we are going to get to know our new co host and get into this episode. So, I thought it would be a good idea to just make our opening episode the same thing each time. And we can talk about the things we lost in the fire. And that's basically the things that we've had to lay down at the altar in the previous year that is going to help propel us forward into the next year. So, I'm really excited to get into this conversation and to start up this podcast again. We send all peace and love to our former co host, our former friend. Well, I shouldn't say former friend, dear God, but our former homie. Who can't be with us? DJ Lou Rowe is doing his thing, doing his dad thing, and he's busy with family in those regards, so he's not able to commit to co-hosting this year. But we hope that he will be back as at least as a guest so we can catch up with him and learn more about his walk. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so there we go.
Back.
Look, you know what they say in church, that's Satan. You know what
I
I'm
was about to
saying? You know you're
say
about to do something good.
working against us all. I'm like, how we gonna hear
Listen.
everything and then hear nothing?
Right. We were so good and on time behind stage, like
That's
backstage, like
crazy.
getting sound and stuff together. But that's how this works. But we kept it rolling. So
We committed.
without without further ado, everyone meet TK, our new co-host for this
What up? What up?
season.
What up?
It's good to see you, buddy.
So excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here. Been thinking about it all day, actually.
Really? That
Yeah,
is so exciting.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah. This podcast, as you know, TK is a close personal friend of mine that we met in the arts community, and we had a great chat about community ain't necessarily your friends, but sometimes you find friendship in community. So TK is definitely that for me. And we always have like the best conversations about our where we are spiritually, how that affects our artistry, and how we're actually trying to walk and live this life, holding ourselves accountable. This podcast really holds me accountable. And I wanted to, when Lou said that he couldn't make it and be a part of the season, I thought about not doing the podcast, but I was like, no, we need to keep this going because I think it's helpful for artists to have to realize that they're not alone. There are other people out here doing artistry, living their creative lives, and trying to, be holy.
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
So how's that going for you?
Oh man. It's a challenge and a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like every
Absolutely.
day. I mean,
Yeah.
the world is worlding and life is lifing, and trying to figure out how to be whole amidst all of that
Hmm.
is a struggle.
Yeah.
It's ugly out. I mean, just from the what, like, just being out today is
Oh,
like, what is going on? Like, what in the day after tomorrow is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I rode into work this morning looking at the clouds, like, are we doing
Yeah.
this? Like, I got stuff to do today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
seriously.
yesterday was lovely. We're in the DMV.
Yeah.
We're on the East Coast, and yesterday it was literally. I got in my car and it said 92 degrees, and I was like, that doesn't make
Make
logical
any
sense.
sense? Yeah, make
No.
any sense?
But then I woke up this morning and I looked on I was looking on Threads. That's my news source. Um, and people were talking about it snowing. I was like, no, it's not. And I looked out the window and I was like, dear God, like what in the
Yeah.
apocalypse is this?
Yeah. So just something that simple is like
Yeah.
what is going on in the world, and am I
It's
prepared?
unpredictable.
Yeah, am I prepared for whatever? Every time you leave the house, it's almost like, man, what are my steps of returning home in the event?
Yeah.
Dot dot dot. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And of course I've always known that something like that is possible, but I've never had it like forefront so regularly. Like, man, like what if dot dot dot? What do I dot dot dot? You know what I mean? So I'm constantly
Yeah.
going through stuff like that now.
Yeah, no, I feel that we ground and we ascend. So on the ground, it's like, how am I prepared to face the day? Do I have a
Yeah,
coat or a jacket or for
yeah,
whatever's going to happen with
yeah,
the weather, for whatever's going to happen with what's happening politically in our country
yeah.
right now? Like, there's so much that we have to be mentally prepared for. And then with all of that, we can't forget what it is to have spiritual preparation. And we
Yes,
had a really
facts.
great talk about that, about armoring yourself, putting on the full armor of God. And I ain't gonna lie, some of my pieces fell off, so we need to, say. So this season, we
That
gotta
is
focus
crazy.
on, get my breastplate back and
Back in
getting my shin
place, you
guards and
know.
stuff.
I'm saying, getting my laces tight. You feel me?
Because I'm not ready, but yeah, that's part of the conversation today. Or like, what are the things? The whole point of the Everybody Can't Go podcast is as you get closer to God, as you move and you grow and you heal on your journey towards becoming a better person, you can't stay around the same people and do all the same things that you used to do. And
Yeah,
the process of losing people, of losing previous mindsets and versions of yourself is devastating. It's a
yeah,
grieving process and it's not fun, but we got to talk it out. So we're just going to kind of model of what it is to talk that out. Like, so this episode, things we lost in the fire. So I'm ready, girl. You finna tell us all like about your 2025. What are some things you had to burn at the altar? And yeah, we'll go from there and hopefully we won't have a breakdown.
facts. Um, so I think in 2025, the biggest thing that I probably like had challenges with was um like battling the need for like control.
Ooh.
Um
Ooh.
and not not of other people, you know what I'm saying? Not of other people.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of finding that line between being in control of yourself and being in control of an outcome, and being
Yeah.
able to have the discernment and the faith and the confidence to, you know, take my hands off of things that didn't need me controlling it, even though I felt
Mhm.
like I needed to be, controlling. So I feel like that was a huge hill to climb for me
Yeah.
in 2025. And I think it comes off of, you know, being in a healing journey and a self-love journey where you have to create boundaries and fortify yourself.
Yeah.
And, sometimes that's tough love and, drawing lines and in the sand. I think sometimes we I don't know if we build the walls too high or we build them too deep while you in it. You're in the thick
We
of
love
it,
a
right? And
wall
so,
though.
you know what I'm saying? So
That's a girly who loves a wall. I can't relate.
but I mean, I'm like, I had to like some of this I don't have to have my hands on. I want
Yeah.
to because I feel like if I this, then this.
Yeah.
But when you're in a relationship, I'm married, I got children, we co-parent, so there's so many things that's outside of my immediate control that I had
Yeah.
to really like sit with myself and recognize that I was doing more of a disservice to me and so
Yeah.
the collective just by, you know, having my hands on things that maybe my hands need to be free of.
No, I feel that.
So that was one of my major ones, man, for sure.
Yeah. So, um, what is just allowing God to work and move? How do you
Yeah.
get into that mindset? I mean, are there affirmations or any scriptures that like help you implement it? Because I feel like that's the hardest part is that we always know in our heart the right thing that we should do to make life flow,
Yeah.
but the implementation is, yeah, it's a nightmare.
So I mean, I think a um I think the need for control is definitely fear based.
Hmm.
So one I know one of the scriptures is like I try to keep close to me today, right now, is
Hmm.
about not having a spirit of fear, but power, love, and sound mind or self discipline,
Yeah.
whichever one um resonates with you most. So I think that it's that me knowing like I can make decisions about something um in a sound mind,
Yeah.
even though I may not be pulling all the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Ooh.
I can stand in the presence and the power of where I sit, my vantage point,
Hmm.
without having to have full influence and impact on everybody else's experience inside it. I just got to know like, okay, this is me. This is where I stand. This is what I want to, participate in or not. That doesn't mean everybody else is there. That doesn't mean everybody else is aligned. I have to be okay
Yeah.
with, where I insert, where I withdraw, and that I think is the constant work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when to win. You know.
Yeah.
So.
No, this is I'm like I'm trying to participate as a host, but I want to like take notes.
Hey man, you being crazy. Stop
Well,
being
this is
crazy.
touching me right now because
Yeah.
I'm back at 100% capacity, right, and throwing myself into artsy stuff. And
Come
one
on,
of the things I'm doing
capacity.
is right, yes, capacity, yes, Lord, because we did not have it
We
like
did
the
not.
past 3-4
We did
years.
not.
Yeah, cup
Whiskey,
was empty.
whiskey, are you there? Whiskey, are you
And I
there?
was not.
Was
I was
not
not.
there. Was
And I
not
was
there.
like you said about fear. And I had to realize I came to this revelation today, like managing a band, trying to get people together to work on a project, to work toward shows. Like I'm
Yeah,
already stressed out, like
yeah,
scheduling people. And I had to realize like I care too much because it's a control thing.
yeah,
And I'm like, this is me trying to hop into an older version of me, and I'm not even this person anymore. And I realized I was thinking to myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm not scared.
yeah.
I'm not scared to make
Yes.
decisions. I'm not scared to pivot. I'm not scared. Like I'm just irritated, right? And I
Yeah,
was trying to make it a bigger thing than it was. It's like I need things to fall into place so I can know how to move. I'm not scared to move. I don't think I can move if there is an obstacle in the way. It's just that that old fear, that fear-based thinking that I need to control everything thinking, just it rears its ugly head. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's not even me anymore. I don't
yeah.
even do that.
And you know what I found, like, I kept telling myself, like, what if it all still works itself out? You know what I mean? I had to say that to myself. Like, I
Late in
know
the
that I know that
midnight hour.
you're saying, yeah, I know that you're saying, go here, turn there, spin around right there and boom. But what if everybody goes their own way
Yeah.
and we didn't make it where we belong? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it creates anxiousness by having to have when you have your hands on it, that
Yeah.
now you're fighting anxiety that you've
Yeah.
created by keeping your hands on
Yeah.
something that you need to let go. So I think I'm trying to find more peace in that every
Yeah.
day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that, I mean, it is an ongoing, but at work, at home, it doesn't matter. You know
Oh,
what I'm
I'm
saying? Like
sure.
really learning that in these times, in these so certain and yet uncertain times, you know, like you know what you're up against, you know what you're watching, but you
Yeah.
don't know where it's going in the immediate.
Yeah.
You know where it's going inevitably, but
Yeah.
not in the immediate. And it's like making sure that I'm not finding myself paralyzed because
Yeah.
of what I see, you know what I mean? And still being active and still going, you know what I'm saying? Not saying, man, this shit about to all go to shit anyway. I'm about to get in the bed. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like
that's literally the
seriously.
energy. That is the
Seriously. Like,
energy on social media, and you start to see
uh-huh.
like this nihilism take over people. And that's why I'm like, you know what? The brave thing to do
Yeah.
is to not stop.
Yeah.
Is to go balls to the walls. And
Yeah.
like like I was thinking like the scripture that keeps coming in my mind is the one that's like, there will come a day when no man can work. Like
Yeah.
there will be a time where we can't do anything, where we don't
Yeah.
have any
So for now,
agency.
do.
Right.
So for now, do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's tough for artists in this day and age. And I just look at how like we're so fear based, and yeah, the effect that it's having on what we have control over and how we think of what is in our power. And I'm like, if you create, which we all have the ability to create because we were
Yeah.
put on this earth to create,
Yeah.
but if
Born
you
creators.
create, yeah, if you create, you definitely have power and agency as long as you're alive. So it's
Yeah.
like every day that I wake up, I there's purpose in it, even if it's all going to
Yeah. Yeah. Choosing
yeah,
to participate is
bravery.
really, really, yeah, it's really the first step to, you know, getting anything done. The choice
Yeah.
to just get into it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And sometimes that's the hardest part. The hardest part is being able to decide to move, to go, to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm really glad that you, instead of deciding not to have this podcast, you asked me, because even if just for you, if this was a
Mhm.
thing for you, like you, I
Yeah.
always say, like you're your first ministry, right? So
Yeah.
even if all this podcast does is edify you in a way that allows you to go out into the world to do the very thing that
Yeah.
God purposed for you, that's why it's necessary. So
Yeah.
give up something that's a passion project that is bringing you closer, you know, to
Yeah.
God, bringing you closer to yourself. I mean, that's important enough to get on
Yeah.
here for.
I agree. Yeah, I'm glad too because I need it.
Yeah.
Like your girl been wayward, not for real, but
Just a little bit.
just a
Just a
little
little
bit. But
bit.
you know, I'm always like working out that stuff, and sometimes I overthink. And the one thing I always have to remind myself is that God purposed our personalities to be the way it is. So the way that
Yeah.
I am is being utilized for the greater mission. But sometimes I'm like torn between this is the way that I am and how I need to relate to people to be raw and
Yeah.
authentic versus am I going a little far and not representing God at all? So like
Am I causing them to stumble?
am
Because I
I
don't want them
causing
to stumble.
people, are my
Yeah.
liberties a stumbling block?
Yeah. Right. You feel me? Hey, but you gotta ask yourself that though. Like
Yes,
literally.
and
So
this
like,
helps me ask those
yeah.
questions.
So I started writing a piece a couple weeks ago. And so I shared it at Sound Off last Monday, whenever Sound Off
Mhm.
was. And it's a piece that touches on like not so much the spirituality part, but just the experience in churches and religious organizations. And it speaks to like the fact that all drugs aren't actually drugs. Like some of it can be addictions to even things like institutions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I immediately did not want heavy on the bars, like dope piece so far. You know what I'm saying? But the better the piece got, the more I didn't want to write it,
yeah,
because I know there's so many people out there that can misread or mishear or misunderstand the message.
Oh
And
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that to happen just because they get lost in the bars and the fun part of the piece.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I kind of stay away from pieces like that because I know what my responsibility is. And
Yeah.
if I can't close the piece in a tactful way that allows for the message to be heard
Yeah.
and to also uphold and respect my own position, then I'd rather not write it.
Yeah. Hmm. So this ties into one of the things I was going to share that I had to burn
Yeah, I'm about to say,
at the
what you
altar.
burning? What you burning?
Well, so this ties right in because I had to let go of, and when I say burn at the altar, for me, this is a radical thing. Like the version of myself that I am today, like may God have mercy on all of our souls. I just feel like free. And part of that is being unapologetic in it. I
Yeah.
think in 2025, I learned that your freedom journey is going to bother some people
Oh yeah.
because a lot of folks aren't free, and it's subconscious and it happens in energy, and it makes you want to shrink yourself or diminish yourself to make other people comfortable. In 2025, baby, I don't even know if I was actively working on it that much. Just one time I realized I was like, in order for me to do what I'm supposed to do, I don't care if I'm misunderstood. I
Yeah.
have to let that go. Like,
Yeah.
I am a strange person. You're not going to get everything about me. And
Yeah.
I watch myself being misunderstood in real time and make the decision to not explain. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's your takeaway.
Yeah.
Work that out.
Yeah. No,
And
no,
that is
I feel
free.
that. No, I feel that. And when it comes like to me and like the way I show up
Mm,
as me, 100%
yeah.
expert in my own experience. I'm not trying to hear all that shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like negative. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Hard line, hard boundary. I think in this particular case for me, uh it the piece is so playful
Yeah.
that I'm working on it. I know when it's done it'll do its job, but you know me, I'm not the kind of writer that like writes. You like I write, but I don't like so I don't sit and like
Not a writer who
I
writes.
don't so listen, I don't sit with the piece and workshop it. I don't
Yeah.
workshop it. I write it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My pieces hey, probably the reason why I do haikus. They quick, I'm in and I'm
Yeah.
out and I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
So are you
I'm not gonna
workshopping
sit
this
and
one?
I have to. I
Why
have to.
do you have
Because
to?
I have to because I have to find the clothes for it. It's like it hasn't found an end. So normally I
Yeah.
write a piece and it just writes itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this piece isn't doing that. And so I have to like I'm working at it to bring it home, I guess. And that's not normal for me. Would it be like
Well, that's what I'm
I
like.
write a
It
piece in like
sounds like you're
8 minutes and it's
yeah.
done.
Yeah. So I'm wondering why the change in this one, because it seems like the change is what you think people are going to perceive it to be, but it just is what it is. You wrote it and it's your job to put it out there. What other people do with it is their
Yeah.
thing.
Agree. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I
And
feel you.
we get to, so as someone who now is talking about like the end of the world, about spiritual
Mm-hmm.
awakening, about going back to God. And then
Mm-hmm.
I have a rock band, and then I'm going to be in these venues where I'm like talking to people who are not trying to talk about God right now. It's just kind of like I just have to let it be what it is, and
Yeah.
however people receive it, it's just my job to be a messenger. and
Yeah.
and sometimes it's I can't control how it comes out, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. I struggle with this with my more poems that talk about sex, and
Mm-hmm.
I have this really intense one that I'm probably not going to perform. um in poetry format, it may become a song, but it talks about like the spiritual ramifications of having sex,
Hmm.
with partners all willy nilly, in the exchange of it's a bad contract between someone who wants love and affection and someone who wants faux love and affection, someone who's
Yeah,
just trying to feel. And it's very vivid. And I worried, like, am I putting the wrong taste in people's mouth? Am I just awakening the thought of sex and just giving people sexual thoughts? And it's like, no, if you're going to say the thing, you have to say the thing in a raw way, and the
yeah,
people who are not there yet, they're going to misunderstand it.
yeah,
They just are. But the people who are going to get it, they will really get it. And that's just something, at first it was a thought that I clung to, but somehow it just seeped into my psyche, and now it's just like, my job is to do what is my steps to be ordered. My job is
yeah,
to do the thing I came here to do. And then everybody's feelings about it, I don't know nothing about that. It's time for me to
yeah,
go home. I did my
yeah. And I think that that's the process that I'm going through with this. And I think it's a necessary process because, like I said, normally I
yeah.
write a piece and it writes itself. The
Yeah.
fact that this piece is causing me to sit with it, that's
Mhm.
how I know it's such an important piece and it's designed to be impactful. And when it gets to the close, it will do its job. And I won't be when a piece is done, I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
piece still does write itself. But the fact that I have not gotten to the end of it means that it's designed for me to be working inside of it. Because otherwise, the
Yeah.
piece would be I could write a piece at an open mic
Yeah.
at the open mic, you know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know how you do that. That's
And
wild to
perform
me.
it at the open mic. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm still working on this and this is now weeks later, it just means that that's how important the message is.
Yeah.
I would just say that because it's definitely outside of my realm of comfort. The fact that I didn't want to write the piece, I think I had to address
Yeah.
that because that was my first thing. I was like, oh no, I'm not, man, I'm not writing that. So I
Yeah.
stopped immediately after the first couple bars. I was like, I'm not writing that. And then I write my best work in the shower. I tell people that all the time. And every time I got in the shower, I would get more lines, and then I would
Yeah.
get out
Yeah.
after. You know what I'm saying? So the piece is still writing itself. Just kind of getting to that close. I know that that's
Yeah.
the part that really kind of seals the deal, brings
Yeah.
it home. And once I get there, then I'll be ready to share it.
Yeah. Okay, Jonah. Just make sure you get there.
Yeah, like facts, facts. Before I go outside and the day after tomorrow is happening, and then I don't get to share it. You know what I'm saying? Let me get active.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
the thing. I'm just trying to cover a multitude of sins, you know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, let me be obedient
Yeah, let
because
me get this thing done.
let
You
me
know
get
what I'm
this
saying?
thing done. Yeah.
Because I gotta answer for everything I don't do that I
Yeah.
should have done. That
Yeah.
was on the list of things to do.
And how many chances of those do you get before God is like, okay, let's pluck this one again away and send in the
Yeah,
replacement because
yeah, correct,
she not
correct.
coming through. And I think about
Yeah,
that all the time, about especially like in instances in the Bible with like King Saul and David and Elijah and Elisha. You'll be training your replacement.
every
Like,
time.
yeah. And sometimes when it ain't you, it just ain't you. So while
Yeah,
it's you, you need to be doing
be
the
it.
thing that,
Yeah, be it.
yeah.
Own it.
Yeah,
Be it
and
and
that's
own it.
daunting.
Yeah, live it, learn it, own it. Like
Yeah,
that's the way it has to be. But I think that there's a certain like self-awareness that you even have to know that
yeah.
that you're lacking in that regard. Like some
Oh,
people don't
yeah,
even realize it. Like we're
yeah.
sitting here, we laughing about it, but we know, what our shortcomings are, and that's the whole point, that
Oh,
you
yeah.
recognize, where you
We
missing
laugh
it.
now because
And
we were balled
yeah,
up in the fetal position crying
hello,
about it for several
hello,
nights. It's funny
hello,
on the other
sitting
side.
sitting in the side, riding in the silence, crying, fighting in the dark, in the bed, don't talk to
Burn at the
nobody.
altar
Yeah,
means burn.
yeah,
And sometimes you get hit by an ember and you part of the fire
yeah,
too.
right. Sometimes you Michael Jackson in a Pepsi commercial. You feel
I
me?
can't.
Like
Don't do
sometimes
that
that
to
happens.
Logic.
Sometimes that happens. You got a clip.
Don't do that to him.
Hey,
We're not gonna get him started.
hey, I'm just saying, sometimes it happens.
But that's real. I want to know, like, yeah, what else did you leave in 2025 that you're not bringing in? Yeah, 26. Good riddance.
uh, man, like honestly, I'm not gonna say that one is it. I just think that one is so big.
It's
Like
vast.
the
Yeah.
way I'm explaining it is small in comparison to how it actually shows up. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is a like daily morning to night kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
um, being married and having kids, all the kids don't live at home, some of them
Mhm.
do, and being able to know all the ins and outs of all these things. It's so many factors that contribute to everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, I, for a long time, I was a team of one. You know what I'm saying? So I knew everything was going on because I was the only everything that was going on. You know,
Yeah.
so like adjusting to the fact that there's so many things that I'm not gonna know,
Yeah.
being okay with not knowing, you know what I mean? Like some things are really like need to know basis. And when you're used to knowing everything because you
Right.
are the center of everything, and then it's hard to be like, dang, like I start making a joke now and I'll be saying, Tarina, we were getting London a blow up bed for when we go to competition. And
Okay.
uh I looked at some online, she looked at some online, and I was in Walmart yesterday, so I sent her a picture of something that I saw that was at Walmart, and she was like, "I already got it on Amazon." And I was like, "We should talk more." You know what I'm saying? But
Hi, I'm
I
TK.
always, I always send her that. You know what I'm saying? When something comes up and it's like, "Oh, we did that already." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there was a time where I probably would have bought that and
Yeah.
not reached out because I never saw it manifest. So in my
Yeah.
head, it should be done. But now I'm learning to like take a pause, check
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Checking in allows for her to say, "Hey, no, done."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my psyche and in my world, when it was done, saying, "Hey, I ordered that,"
Yeah.
is the way that like I process the information. But that it doesn't change the fact that she has it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change the fact that the job is done. You know what I'm saying? It's me having to adjust to my need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
To
yeah.
know and be all in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
We break it
So
down and not just be ego. And you
yeah,
just be like, what, you
yeah,
just wanted to be the one to
yeah.
be
To
have the
right, yeah.
idea.
Like what?
Like
Like cut it out. Like stop it. Like what are you talking about? Clap for her because thank you. It's one thing off the
yeah.
list that I actually didn't have to participate in. Really, you know what I'm saying? But that
Oh,
that that is like the smallest side of it. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And those little small nuances of
Oh, I
day to day
think that's
living.
big. That's
Well,
big.
well, I
Yeah.
just mean like in the sense of having to get something for the kids and who did it or not or how quickly
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah.
Um, but just down to those simple things. And then there's
Yeah.
actually bigger things, you know what I'm saying? Like things that relate to work and how we parent and how we, make time for each other and all these other things that are also happening as well. So that's why I say that is like really the big one. Even with my family, like another thing
Yeah.
I do is while I am um being mindful to not be ego forward in
Yeah.
my boundaries,
Yeah.
still being firm enough to hold the line when it's necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is something I had a couple relationships get kind of strained towards the back half of the year. Um and I just kind of decided that I don't have to explain myself. You know what I mean? I am right here on it for
Yeah.
good reason. I know that I'm not in my emotions. I know that this is a peace protector for
Mm-hmm.
me and you. I recognize that me making this decision not only protects my peace, but it will protect your peace too if you lean into acceptance. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you're not feeling peace about this situation, it's because you have yet to accept the reality of this. And once you accept, you will be at peace with it too. Because
Yeah.
whatever's best for me has to be best for you. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, in whatever relationship that I'm in, whether it's family, friendship, romantic, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Whatever
What you do is, yeah,
mutually
it
caring
has
relationship.
to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And when people fight against that, you know that they're working on their own things. And
Yeah.
I also had to learn that while they work through their stuff, I don't always have to participate in that part. I
Yeah.
can let them work through that on their own, and prayerfully, if it means enough, not necessarily to them, but just to the relationship itself, if there is some sort of closure or, circling back around, that will happen on its own without it having to be forced or orchestrated. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I let that stuff kind of go. That is definitely something else that I had to deal with in 2025. Sadly, because I'm not the big cut people off person. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone can exist here in some capacity. Like we talked about it on the live last time. You know what I mean? Like when Jesus was out there in the multitude, while he is all knowing and all of that, yeah, I got it. But at the same time, this is hundreds of thousands of people that you're dealing with in this moment. And
Yeah.
inside this group of people, there are going to be bad people. There are going to be people who,
Yeah.
don't deserve the grace and mercy, and yet they get the grace and mercy. So I'm cool on that part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really cut people off, but I do make sure that I manage those relationships in a way that allows me to stay whole,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cause me to stumble. Now I don't want to be gossiping and fighting and having a bad
Yeah.
attitude about something. Like, I'm the kind of person that if I have beef with any person in your home, I'm not gonna come into your home. I'm not
Yeah.
the kind of person that, how sometimes people, you got a friend and your friend has a spouse and you don't like the spouse, but you their friend. So you're going to go over to their house and you're going to say smart shit to the spouse and be sucking your teeth and rolling your
Yeah.
eyes. And see,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm
That's
not
a
going to go into,
divisive energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into someone else's home and bring, to me, that is literal disrespect walking into a
Yeah.
home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think that people actually take that kind of stuff that seriously, but I do. So I
No.
would rather interact with that person on a one-on-one basis, you know what I'm saying, outside of the place where they should have peace and comfort, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and love and
Yeah.
respect, than to go in someone's house. And because if I'm not going to talk to you, I'm not going to talk to you. You know what I mean? I know that enough about
I
myself.
don't cut people off, but if I
But
ain't
if
talking to you, I
I'm
ain't
not,
talking to you.
I'm not. It's just not gonna happen. You're not cut off. I'm just not engaging. You know what I'm
No.
saying? That's just the way it is. Period. And so that's one of the things that I do. And I know that probably hurts people sometimes
Yeah.
because we have such a fake it till you make it, like, society, especially like in family. You get
Yeah.
so used to, like, just playing the game and going
Yeah.
going along to get along. And but
Yeah.
that's old news, and that's part of why people don't change. There's not accountability in going along to get along. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There
And
has
you
to be some
you sacrifice
accountability.
your authenticity, that's
Yeah,
self-abandonment
yeah.
and
And I
and
don't like how that feels. I don't like
yeah.
how it feels to
Yeah.
be fake. I don't like how it feels to have to, like, I be saying I'm too big for small talk, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm not trying to be sitting in a room making up shit to talk to you about
Yeah.
because I really don't want to talk to you. So I'm like
Yeah.
fishing for things. I'd
Yeah.
rather just be places where I feel happy, whole, and loved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't have to be thinking. I could just be experiencing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do in 2026. Going back to what you said,
Yeah.
the time, we don't know the time, right? So if we don't know the time, we should be living fully. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I don't want to be doing all of that work just to be
Yeah.
related.
Well, yeah, let's talk about this because I feel like our callings are similar but a little bit different. And what you were saying kind of reminded me of like where I am in the journey and things I had to let go. So I got to a place where it's like I do want to be in rooms that allow me to interact authentically.
Hmm.
And I want to be in places where I know that I'm loved and well received and I can have like the deep conversations. I'm not trying to do small talk. But, and we talk about this all the time, having that fuels me to participate in the larger world,
Yeah,
right? And allows me to
yeah,
have a small talk with a stranger on the metro,
yeah,
or allows me to go into places or entertain or create art or share art in rooms that aren't necessarily welcoming or
yeah.
receiving, but I'm fueled to do that because I've been intense about my boundaries and making sure that within my inner circle I'm hanging around people who allow me
One
to
hundred
just
percent.
be. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's a clunky transition, right? Because you kind of get into the mindset that you always have to be in a situation where like, I'm just not, it's just how people receive me, I'm not going to be comfortable. And then when I started doing that work and be like, no, I get to enjoy myself and enjoy
Yes,
people and be in environments that welcome
yes.
me, and then just life changing, like I be feeling so full, like, okay, I get to be weird, they get me, they
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, 100%. And that goes back to what we were talking about initially about the armor, right? Like
Hmm.
that's why it's so important for you to have the time where you are with your friends and your family and the people that help to build you up and edify you and stuff like that, because you do have to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
when going to war, I need to be prepared for
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm not getting rest and I'm not, getting what I need in order
yeah,
to prepare for battle, then I'm gonna get out there and get my ass kicked. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Or you're
realistically,
doing small battles with people who are
yeah.
irrelevant to your purpose.
Yeah,
And I
now
think
now
that's
you're
the thing
fighting for the
too.
sake of fighting because you need to win one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
and that's exactly what I mean. Like I definitely have it. I'm not gonna say I have it more for people who like I don't know and strangers, to like the patience and the capacity.
Yeah.
Um but I think that going back to what I heard you say the other day when you were on the live about evangelism, like that's the part of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to go out. These people don't know you, so the only thing they're gonna know is what you represent and the message. So you have to be like fortified in that, because
Yeah.
otherwise, yes, now we cause people that don't know us to stumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
This me you knowing each other. So yeah, you might not always be in tip top shape when you're dealing with me, and I'm not always in tip top shape when I'm dealing with you, but we know each other enough to know
Yeah.
what we stand for, what we
Yeah.
represent and stuff like that. So then we have the freedom to exist safely here while we
Yes.
learn. That
Yeah.
is that is why the community part is so important, and that's why everybody in community can be your friend.
Yeah, yeah, that's true because sometimes there is safety in a certain level of distance.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I think that's probably parts of why community is broken is because we're so empty and deprived that we're always seeking more. And
Yeah.
we're always seeking the way that we've been taught to
Mhm.
consume people and to
Mhm.
just like, and I'm struggling with that now. That's one of the things I had to burn at the altar is like my inability to connect. Just the I realized that my attachment style, like I'm very avoidant, and I always thought of it as like, oh, I love people in times and seasons, and I have a good season with people, and then I'm just done with that season. And then it's like, no, you're actually afraid of intimacy and being seen, and you're pushing people away after a time. And this is something that I realize it has to be my work to seek after true intimacy. And last year on the podcast, one of the underlying themes was me like incessantly talking about my abstinence journey, right?
Uh-oh.
Yikes. and,
Uh-oh.
and all of the work that I've done around my wounds with like sexuality and stuff, and
Hmm.
realized that that was me trying to connect in a safe way that would get me the least hurt,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, all of this is a build up is because you're afraid of the thing that you really want, which would be like actual connection with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I had to burn certain ideals at the altar and realize that I really struggle with being like seen. I really
Yeah.
struggle with being perceived. I'm used to being misunderstood. I'm used to people being like, okay, I don't get
Yeah.
it. And especially the arts world, I'm used to people, there's something evil about people who try to be in proximity to you, but they don't like you.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've peeved and been so puzzled by.
Yeah.
It's made me like bitter. And I was like, all of those triggers and issues, and I just had to, in preconceived notions about the nature of people. And this season, I have to burn all that at the altar and just trust my ability to take some stuff on the chin,
Yeah.
trust my ability to recover after I let people in,
Yeah.
trust that I don't control the narrative and allow people to see me
Say
and
and
how
do
I
whatever they
move and
want.
act.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
yeah, and letting that be. And that's so hard. And it's interesting because you're talking about like the things that you're learning through marriage and having children. And my thing has been, it's like, oh, if I were in a romantic relationship, that would really accelerate my journey because you really see yourself, right?
Yeah.
But God know I ain't ready. So I'm literally I will burn somebody's house down. So we're working on that. But I'm literally managing, I have a band and I have to like get these people together and I have
Come
to
on,
vibe
band.
with them and I have to, yeah. And I'm like, this will be a fun project. But the reason I didn't want to lock it in is because I knew this is not going to be a fun project. I'm going to have to like be perceived by different people,
Yeah.
not try to do the thing I always do, which is adjust my personality to everybody in the room so that they can translate. And it's like I'm working on how to not translate myself, how to just be and let the energy be what it
Yeah.
is. Let it be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I am uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It is,
Nah, I feel
it's
that.
like you
I
can't
feel
take
that.
anything personally. You
I
have
feel
to
that.
bend and adjust. Like it is a lot. And
Yeah, I
I have
feel
to
that.
see the areas where I'm doing like too much work. Like now I'm like, okay, usually it's a group chat and everybody's like aware of what's going on. But I hate group chats. And I hate putting people in group chats and making them responsible for if such and such can't make it to rehearsal, whatever. So I try to do all that separately and just come together with the final conclusion and
Yeah,
send it
with the
out to people.
facts.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking like, is this me just doing the most where I could just
Yeah.
drop it in the group chat and let the chips fall where they
Yeah.
may? So it's like working out these, like, I'm realizing that I have so many triggers when it comes to opening up to people,
Yeah.
allowing them to see my thought processes and how I move and the things that I do. And even like with stage presence, I was dancing in my room earlier and I was like, I have this thing with my guitars where we have like a little bit of play on stage. And
Yep.
I was like, so at next rehearsal, I have to get comfortable dancing like in his space and get used to like sharing that energy for us
Yeah.
to share this on stage. And I was like, that's something I do alone. Like
Yeah.
when I rehearse for music shows alone, I get to dance by myself.
Yeah.
And that feels like, okay, I'm free. But now I'm like, I have to be seen.
Yeah.
I
I
have
have to be
to.
seen and
I
close. Yeah. And connecting.
Yes, and I
Connecting.
struggle
Yeah.
with that even
Yeah.
when, we started working together and we did more kind of like on stage banter stuff. I was way out of my comfort zone, but I faked it because I didn't know them that well. But now I'm so much this person that I can't fake it and I literally have to go in and just be like, "Look, first 5 minutes, I just need to dance around, get my bearings in my space. I need to be a wild feminine energy in this space to get that like the nerves out and to allow
Yeah.
myself being seen this way instead of surprising an entire band at a performance. They're like, "What are you doing? We never rehearsed that." So,
Wait. No one said we were gonna do that part.
yeah, I'm like, this is kicking my. It's
Yeah.
just, it's a lot, and I didn't
No, I
realize I
get that.
had this many issues
I
until yeah.
I get that because even like with interpretations or poets giving or
Yeah.
they kind of interchange. Um, like having people who want to support the show
Mhm.
and help so that I don't have to be a one person show
Yeah.
and run the door and do this and do you know what I mean? So it's like they're saying, okay, tell me what I need to do.
Yeah.
And because it's all in here, sometimes I don't have the capacity to explain what I want. I just know what I
Yeah.
want, which goes back to what I was saying before about being the team of one.
Yeah.
It's all happening here. So I haven't had to write it out, convey, communicate, share, connect. I just do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my mom was a single mother
Mhm.
and she raised me in a way where I saw someone who just literally came and went as they chose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there
It's
wasn't a whole
lit.
bunch of it wasn't a whole bunch of like talking and deciding and negotiating and
Yeah.
compromising. She just was her. And I think that because that's what I saw, a lot of times I mirrored that because
Mhm.
I just have the freedom to
'Cause who gonna check you?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no one here for
Yeah.
checking. And then even once people showed up, still who is gonna
Yeah.
check me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I'm doing the thing I want to do. How can that not make sense to everybody? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you do have to lay some of that stuff down in order to be successful and fruitful in relationships. And these are not right or wrong things. These are how we do things. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you have a way, I have a way. What is our way? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's
Yeah.
finding that part of it. So going back to the interpretations part, now I have to actually sit, write it out, map it out on paper, something tangible that's outside of my head,
Yeah.
and present it to someone so they can support me. Because I found that sometimes people do want to, but we don't have enough clarity. We're not being
Yes.
clear and
That's
concise
my word of the year,
about,
clarity.
yeah, we're the ones that's not being clear and concise
Yeah.
about what it is that we need because we've never mastered advocating for ourselves
Yeah.
and like saying what we need or even really
Yeah.
fully understanding what that is. And so that's
And that's a big
2026 is about
trigger.
that.
Yeah. About the scars that come from being misunderstood
Hmm.
still exist.
Yeah.
So it's the understanding like, oh, I'm going to be misunderstood. Not everyone's going to get it. But also there are going to be people who do get it, and those people deserve clarity. And I think
Yeah.
that's the difficult part when you get used to just being an ambiguous entity that bops
Yeah.
around and does, you know,
Oh,
what
whimsical and
you're
shit.
right, right. But it's time to like ground down
Yeah.
and connect and let people in. And
Yeah.
that has been like a whole process is that I've like, this is not sustainable alone. The way that I live
No.
my lifestyle, isolated, don't ask for help, do everything by myself. And
It's
it's a
taxing.
difficult trend. It's taxing. It's taxing. And art is teaching me like the art goals that I want to have, it's teaching me, okay, this is how you exist in community. So I'm literally having to work with other people, having to coordinate and make sure that they're comfortable and all of these things. And yeah, having to be allowed to be seen. And it's, I'm exhausted, but it's
And
good work.
going back to what you said, like being seen and seeing, that means that you
Don't even
also
get me started on that.
have it right. Yeah. So now while allowing yourself to be seen, you also have to like juggle also seeing
Without
the other people.
interfering,
Yes.
seeing
Yes.
what's going down
And
without interfering.
trusting the process
Yes.
that like, okay, God has put these people in my life, right?
Yeah.
God has given me the gift of relationship.
Mhm.
Like he couldn't possibly want me to have to rebuild the gift.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't have to like get into the motherboards and figure all, like rework
Beep,
all
boop,
of
beep,
this
beep. Yeah.
to fit my needs specifically. Like I have to
Yeah.
trust that what and who has shown up in these places have exactly what I need to fulfill the task. It's my
Yes.
job to trust that. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
And
And
that's difficult because,
have the
like you said about,
confidence. Yeah.
yeah, what you said about seeing. I have this thing about, I've had instances where, done a lot of work on people pleasing. That was early work. And my
Yeah.
whole thing is like, people pleasers can be dangerous because resentment can build when they don't set boundaries. And I'm so like worried about resentment building because this has been a pattern of just like people in my life building resentment toward me. So we don't talk about how difficult it is to receive from people because you worry, like, are they giving too much? Is this within the comfort of what they want to give? And I
Yeah.
had to learn that's none of my business.
Yeah. They have to be able to say that this is too much
That's
for
their
them.
work. Yep. And there's
Yeah, they
not. And
have to
then I
be
was
able to do
like,
that
I
part.
thought about having a conversation, just be like, I want to make sure that you're. And then I was like, no, I'm just going to let this play out. And I don't want to take on anybody's work. And I said on Threads, I don't want to be anybody's magical negress.
Mm-mm.
I'm tired of coming around like, have you thought
Mm-mm.
about this? And maybe you should
Mm-mm.
do this. And people being like, wow, that's so interesting. And
Mm-mm.
then, yeah, I was just
Nope.
like, yes.
No.
You're like,
Think
we not
about
doing.
think about that when you think about it. I don't have
Yeah.
the capacity to be thinking about what you need to be thinking about.
On your behalf.
Yeah.
And that's that
Yeah.
control, like you
And
said.
and sometimes us do, like, for instance, me and Rena, I'm gonna keep going back to that, right? Because there is an art to marriage. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Whether you are artist or not, there is an art to it, right? And so when I say maybe it all just works itself out,
Yeah.
when I bring something to her attention, sometimes that could have adverse effects
Yeah.
because now I am adding anxiety
Yeah. Because leave me
to,
alone.
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Now that she has to actually consider what
Yeah.
I have said, now it has created anxiousness with her. You know what I'm saying? In a
Yeah.
moment where we didn't need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just have to know what I know, understand what I understand,
Yeah.
let that shit all play out, be here to support,
Yeah.
be here to help, you know what I mean? Be here to
Yeah.
ground. Sometimes you really just there to catch people.
Yeah. Or you're
You're not there to keep them from falling. You're there
right.
to catch them when they do. That's
Yeah,
sometimes
and
that's the
you're
only
braced
job.
for it because you see.
Yeah.
So if you're gifted with
Yeah.
seeing, if you're able to be so aware that you kind of see some pitfalls that may happen,
Yeah.
then you can mentally prepare for it, but you don't
That's the
have to
only job.
meddle in it.
Yeah. You're not trying to keep it from happening. You're trying to help, you know.
I struggle with that. I be feeling like a
Me
whole witch. I be like,
too.
I'm doing the most because I know how to move the chess pieces to get what I need out of this. And I was like, but it makes me feel disingenuous and it
Yeah.
makes me feel
Mhm.
like I'm doing too much. So I'm literally like learning, being around people again, building something,
Yeah.
collaborating. That
Yeah.
there's a lot that, yeah, like you said. So oh my God. So yeah, that's a big thing to burn at the altar. We leaving that
Yeah.
in 2025.
Yeah. Shit. I wish I had left that shit in 2023. But it came into 2025, so I just gotta make sure it doesn't live in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah,
Listen.
like that is the part that I'm learning, that sometimes the role that you have is just to be there when it
Yeah.
goes wrong, not to
Yeah.
prevent it from going wrong. Because what if what I perceive as going wrong
Is
is it
right.
going right? Yeah. We talked about that on the last call. Like, Judas had a job.
Yeah.
As much as we don't like the
Right.
idea of Judas has a
Yeah.
job. So that means that sometimes Judas is just gonna exist.
Yeah. Because, Peter was there. If he had
Yeah.
known, it was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
Judas? Stabbed him right
Yeah.
there. No
Yeah.
cross.
Right. Right. And that's why
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
can't know everything, because if we did, we're going to interfere. You know what I'm saying? We're going to want to interfere in the process. If we, and that's that, honestly, I was just telling somebody that the other day. I said, I think that that's why it was so important for us to not eat from the tree. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
Like, that was the importance, because it unlocks all of this knowing that you don't even have the capacity to process and do something with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't
Right.
have the ability to handle knowing so much. Technology is doing
Yes.
that to us. That's why we're
Thank
so stressed.
you.
It's like literally taking in so much information all
Because before
day.
you
Oh,
would hear that a war is
yeah.
happening and you don't have any footage, you don't know like the
Yes.
depth of it. But
I don't
now it's
even
like
know
you
what
wake
that
up,
means. Yeah, with the
you see
last war, what?
footage, there's
War?
everything is in your face all at
Yeah.
the same time. And that's why like it's a controversial thing. I try not to say too much, but I was like, we have to figure out our place in things and stay there because you're
Yeah.
going to burn yourself out trying to fight every cause.
Yeah.
Understand what your
Yeah.
role and calling is and hold the line. And the
That's
people
right.
who need healing in that area will come. But if you
Yeah.
try to fight every battle, every cause, then that's not how it works because we are too exposed to each other. It was never
Yeah.
meant for us to, when we started seeking this advanced knowledge and putting out this advanced technology, we lose every time we win and we gain things, but we lose a lot
Lose.
too. And we don't think about
Yes.
what we lose. And I
Yes.
think that's the thing that we lost is that we're in each other's energy way too much.
Too
Like,
much. Way
like
too much. It's
just
not,
too
you're
much.
not supposed to know this much. You
You're
know what
not
I
supposed to
mean?
know this much.
You
Yeah.
can't handle knowing. But and the sad thing is that a lot of times we know more about things on the outside of us than we do on the things on the inside of us, because we are consuming so much of everything else except us. You know what I'm saying? Realistically. Like, and
And
I
that's where
think
we
that,
come in.
yeah. Hello?
Get to know yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that
That's a great
that
point.
is
Thanks,
like
Logic.
when I think about, scripture saying, but seek ye first, right? The
Hmm.
kingdom. I feel like that in some capacity is a parallel to yourself.
Yeah.
We are the body, right? Christ
Hmm.
is in us, right? If this is the truth, then when you get to know yourself, that is what draws you closer. You are the, like, carbon copy of
Yeah.
said thing.
Yeah.
Like you are the thing to study. You know what I'm saying? In conjunction with whatever text that
Yeah.
value, you know what I mean? But you
Yeah.
are the thing to study. And if we put more time in consuming, getting past the mystery of ourselves, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Then we show up in the world totally different.
We do. Yeah. I that is a perfect transition because we need to wrap up. But I
Because we could talk
usually
all day.
we could
And
talk all day and I know us. So I've been timekeeping. I've been professional. Okay.
I'm doing
This
my
could be a
job.
3-hour
I'm doing my
podcast.
job.
I'm doing my job. But no, I always just like to think about like what is the scripture that's getting you through. And you literally just said one of mine is that I had to ground myself back because I started overthinking because a lot of things that I've laid at the altar in 2025, one of them was also like I can't repress the desires of my heart. I have to admit that they exist and that they are there. And I'm on this feminist decentering men. I forget all them. Let's start calling me a women. Like, but then I
We
had to
let them
come.
niggas with them.
Right, right. And that has been like and then I realized like after I had my abstinence, thing, I realized that okay, you crave this and you want this and there's a part of you that does want relationship
Yeah.
and I don't know what that looks like or how that's going to be, but all I need to do is seek first,
Yeah.
right? Seek the kingdom of God and everything will come to
Be
me the way
added.
that it
That's it.
needs to be.
That's
So,
it.
like, even if I feel like I meet someone and I'm interested, I don't have to worry about anything. I just have to stay focused on God. So,
Correct.
I've been bringing myself back because, I used to be just like an anxious, terrible, like codependent, yearning. I'm a poet.
Yeah.
So I'm learning regulation through that, through staying focused on it's all about seeking after God, learning more about myself and my triggers, and just like holding the line in that
Yeah.
instead of like turning into obsessing about this thought of this thing that I want. Because I want a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I just have to trust that God is going to provide the things that I need for me to live the life that I envision for myself. But it's okay to want things and not get them, but suppressing it or pretending like I don't want it is not helpful either. So
Yeah.
that's another thing I had to burn at the altar. But what helps me with that process of like it realizing that okay, it's okay for you to like want to have companionship. But we still working.
It's
But
nice over
I
here,
can't let
actually.
it
Come on
consume
over.
me. Well, that's the thing is that I, as a yearner and a poet and a very intense person, I let it overtake me, and I think the fear and why I was suppressing it is just like I can't let it overtake me. But if I'm focused on like seeking God, then it won't
It
overtake me.
won't
Then I
overtake
have,
you. Yeah.
yeah. So I need to trust in that, and I think that's the hardest part is trusting in this new version of myself, trusting in the way that God has renewed my mind and how I show up now and operating as that person. So, yeah, I think that one is going to be especially like immersing myself like fully in art again, having all these projects with parenting and work and I'm just going to have to stay focused on the Lord to get me through. And, the dumpster fire that is everything happening in the world right now.
Around. Right.
Yeah, like if you keep seeking and keep on that path, then your steps will be ordered. So yeah, that's really like one of my go-to scriptures for this year. Is like I just need to keep seeking God and I'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you?
So aside from the one that I said earlier, kind of about that's rooted in the, remembering that,
Yeah.
I don't have a spirit of fear. So I don't have to be worried about how this is gonna turn out. I
Yeah.
can trust how this is gonna turn out. So I guess maybe, kind of in conjunction with that, probably, being anxious for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just
Yeah.
knowing that I have processes that if I trust the processes, then
Yeah.
it works itself out. So if I am, praying and meditating, and if I am, offering my petitions, then I don't have to be anxious about how it's going to turn out. I can have the confidence that it's going to turn out exactly the way it needs to. I don't have to be
Yeah.
doing all this. You know what I'm saying? All I have to do is be where I belong. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Do what is my role and responsibility. First, understanding that, you know what I mean? Like gaining understanding, like what is my role here? What am I supposed to be doing in this situation? Okay, do that.
Yeah.
Everybody has a role. You don't have to do everybody's role. You just have to know yours and do yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would have to say if it's not going to be um not having a spirit of fear, it would definitely be, be anxious for nothing.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Good episode. Muscle.
Hello?
Listen, thank you so much for people tuning in, the playback crew, whoever comes through. Definitely appreciate you. This has been season 2, episode 1 of the Everybody Can't Go podcast. We will be back March 26th. That's going to be the fourth Thursday of the month. And we have a very special guest. We're going to get into it and learn more about. I want to make sure he's locked in. So we will reveal said guest on our socials, but make sure you follow on Instagram at Everybody Can't Go Podcast. If
Yeah.
you're not like a long podcast person, we'll definitely be posting clips on that page. So definitely give it a follow. And yeah, this is the new season. We hope you, well, we don't care if you like it. This for us, but we hope you join us on
Facts.
the journey.
Facts.
Shout
Come
out to
along with us.
Logic.
Come along with us.
Right. Shout out to Logic and the iRant Network family. I don't have my spiel together, but this is brought to you in association with iRant Network. And if you purchase a Roku device, you are able to watch our episodes and all of the other lovely things that are on the iRant Network. Shout out to Maria and Brown Girl interrupting. And yeah, all the peeps in the iRant family. I'll have my spiel together better next time. I'm a little rusty. We haven't done this in a while, but we are back
We are
and
back.
here for your enjoyment, but most importantly, here for your Be About It journey. So make sure you tune in on the 26th. We can't wait to see you. And to all, good night.
Good night.
Everybody can go.